Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Fun Speed Hunts. Believe this is episode 8, and we are kicking off. This week it's probably going to be a bit shorter than usual, because it's kind of too late. It's already 12:20 here in the time of me making this, and it's gonna take some time to do it, and then it's gonna take some time to process everything, render, upload, blah blah blah, yada yada. You know how it goes. Seems like every Wednesday that I need to do these episodes, something else comes up. And today was our current house owners came to take some pictures and all that stuff. So, and went to bed a bit late last night. Well, actually, I went to bed quite early, but I stayed awake very very late. So I kind of slept in this morning. Couple of things I want to talk about in this week's episode because it's nothing really bad or good. I mean, there's some good and some bad things, but nothing like really that stands out. It's just a couple of sparks that in the past couple of days I hear have been lit, and I'd like to, well, at least give my opinion or a view on them, if not extinguish them before they turn into some stupid fires for no reason. Um, Before we get into all that, why I stayed up last night was after the stream and everything, just kind of crashed into bed and was thinking, okay, what am I gonna watch? I mean, I do own a PS4 and I have a Netflix on it, so I was thinking, there's no movies recently that I can watch that I'm really interested in. And there's, when it comes to series, you need to find something that's going to be of your taste, something that you can enjoy. And I don't know, you need to watch at least a couple. And sometimes it can be a torture to just sit there and make yourself watch a couple of episodes because you don't know if it's going to be any good. Is it worth your time or not? So I was cycling through, and then I came across a series called Breaking Bad. Now, this is a series that's been out for, I don't know how many years, but for a while now. And it is an extremely good series. It's, it's got some black, dark, I wouldn't call it humor, but it does have dark humor as well. It's just the subject of the whole thing is very, very... I mean, it's called Breaking Bad for a reason. I don't know, have you seen it or not? It's been out for a long time, so I probably presume you did if you care about series at all. But still don't want to get into too much spoiler. The thing is about the main actor is from Malcolm in the Middle, his father. He's basically the main actor, and I remember watching this series back in the day was thinking, how the hell is this guy gonna act serious? There's no way. And boy oh boy did he outdid himself. I remember watching him the first time and I was just shocked at how good the actor did it, because we all know him from Malcolm in the Middle or maybe some other minor roles, and he was just goofy and I don't know. Here he really did an amazing job. And the second main actor, which is his assistant, Jesse in the series, is also absolutely amazing. I did watch this series before, like I said, long time ago, but I thought, yeah, this might be a good time as any to kind of start again, because I remember the series kind of lasts for a long while. I don't know how many seasons or episodes it has. But I do remember wanting to watch it for a while now, and every time I thought, nah, not yet. 1 second. Oi. So I was thinking, yeah, well, might as well just start now. Why not? And I did, and my God, I just couldn't stop. I watched at least like 4 to 5 episodes, and it was 3 a.m. before you know it. And that got, and then the funny part is when the whole thing was over, I just couldn't sleep. For some reason, I just could not fall asleep. I was still just squirreling around in bed, and I don't know. It must have been at least 4 a.m. when I went to bed, and then Mrs. Citadel just woke me up at around 10:30, saying, "Dude, you gotta get up. She's coming in half an hour." So I got up. We did everything we had to do, and then they were there. They took some pictures, and then they were gone, like that fast. And I was thinking, "Ooh, hell yeah! I got some time to actually do Funs with Huns." And then I realized, wow, Jesus, it's already this hour, and I needed to go to the store, bakery, I needed to record the video, prepare everything for the audio, which I'm doing right now. Oh god, I was like, oh man, there's gonna be one Wednesday, but I'm actually going to publish this video before noon, or 1300, you know. I don't know. It's just the way it is. And usually when I do everything in advance and prepare like a day or two earlier, something happens in that those 1 or 2 days, and then I have to redo it again. So, damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? Anyway, the game that you're watching in the background was played yesterday. It is in the work in progress, which for some reason I don't have the logo in the background, so excuse me for that, my apologies, but this is a work in progress ship. It is Soviet Soyuz, which is a tier 9 Russian BB. As you may know, since a couple of days ago, maybe even a week now, we have, yeah, basically a week. Tomorrow is going to be a full week, because it's Thursdays, the patch days. We got the Russian battleships to test. Tier 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, plus Tier 8 Premium. You may have seen some videos on my YouTube channel, obviously. Before, I think I put one game with Kreml, and I put, I think, 2 games with Tier 5. I haven't put any game with Tier 6 because, in my opinion, it's one of the worst. Because it absolutely has a dysfunctional armor, which is a complete standout from the entire rest of the tech tree. And no, there are no tier 3 and 4 battleships as of yet in the game, so that's why I didn't mention them. They're just not there. So, you know, have tier 5, which is amazing. You have tier 6, which is, according to some community contributors, OP, but according to me and a couple of others, it's just garbage. I have no idea how did those people make it work, because I know that you can make the guns work. How did they make the armor not suck is beyond me. I'm guessing they just got lucky and didn't get shot at, because every time I get shot at, I was getting citadeled, no matter the range or the angle, or just extreme amounts of damage. Not to mention that that thing is a tier 6 and gets to plays versus tier 8s. It's got big, huge 20 mil hole citadels in it. It's just... then you got a tier 7, which is great. You got a tier 8. Both of them are good or great. And then you have a tier 9, which is the Soviet Soyuz, which in my opinion, like from the couple of games that I played, I didn't even, you know, bother staying on it. I saw no problems with it. And I saw no extremely standing out kind of things, which are good about it. I mean, it was like the rest of the Russian battleships, just good. But according to certain other community contributors that I talked to in the CC Discord, like, some of them just could not make the tier 9 work. Funny enough, the same dudes who could make the tier 6 work. So I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna have to play tier 6 and tier 9 again just to make sure. I never got that day to play tier 6 because I was too preoccupied playing tier 9, which is this one. Plus, I decided to do, you know, you gotta play with the ship that kills you, which resulted in some hilarious games yesterday in the stream. It got me all the way down to tier 4. And I started with a tier 9. Just put it that way. I always get killed by ridiculous things when I play that challenge. In case you don't know, it's very simple. You take a ship that you want, you play the game. If you survive, you get to pick whatever you want again, and so on. But the very first time you get killed, you have to play the very next game in the ship that you got killed by. So if I play this game and I get killed by, let's say, Henry, next game I have to play Henry. And if I survive, next game after that I get to play whatever I want. If I don't, I have to play the ship that killed me while I was playing the Henry, which sometimes, I don't know, it's gonna be Edinburgh, and then you get the Edinburgh, and then you get killed by Fuzo. You take Fuzo, you get killed by Isokaze. You take Isokaze, get killed by South Carolina. Before you know it, you're gonna be stuck in playing tier 2 and 3. Which is pretty funny. But why I'm mentioning this is, I was testing the tier 9. And as some of you may know, basically from the moment that I get up till the moment I go to sleep, like 90% of my time in the day that I'm not sleeping or eating or some very few other things that I have time for, I'm just working about this. It's either on the YouTube or the Twitch stream, whatever. So I don't really have a lot of time to watch other people's streams. That includes my colleague Flamu. And in this game, in case you haven't noticed, he is in the enemy team, in exactly the same ship. I guess, he wanted to play this ship as well. I had no idea about this, that he was playing the tier 9 Soyuz. I got into this game, and I saw Ocean, this ship, and I just started being grumpy in my beard, in my own, like, oh my god. Because Russian battleships are very good because of armor, brawling, close range. The accuracy is not that great on long range, and they do not have long range guns. You need to get close. And having islands to protect your broadsides is perfect, because these things are extremely vulnerable on their broadsides. So Ocean was probably the worst possible map I could get, and I'm in a tier 10, and there's a carrier, and I'm in a tier 9. So this was terrible. And then my chat told me, dude, there's Flamu in the enemy team. And I'm like, okay. And at the beginning of this game, I take a look at the team score, and then, yes, he is. He, of course, has a different name now. He occasionally changes it. And then immediately, of course, people from my stream went to his stream to see the both sides. Of course, they had the both streams open. And people from his stream went into my stream. And then they accused me in his stream that I was stream sniping him. Which is pretty freaking hilarious. Why the hell would I be stream sniping him? I don't stream snipe anyone. Like, why? What's the purpose of that? As much as I appreciated having a Russian battleship on the enemy team, so that I could maybe, get to see how it is to play against it, especially with it, I had no idea he was there. It's just ridiculous. Some people just feed off the drama and then saying that there's, I don't know, some bad things being said from one to the other. No, it's not true. It's just we have different playstyles. That's it. And right now I'm showing in the background my stats, which I never even look at or know about or stuff like that. I will get back to the whole Flamu subject just since this came on the screen already. Some people were wondering, and I didn't even know myself. Apparently I have about 15,500 games played and about 7.7 thousand games survived. This is one of the things that I was shocked a couple of days ago when I actually got into my stats to see my survivability, and I realized, Jesus, it's almost 50%, unless I miscalculated something. And I got myself really shocked, because I play very aggressive. I brawl. I take ridiculous risks, because I don't care about stats. I just want to go in and have fun. And me and Flamu have different playstyles. He's more in the back, I am more in the front. This is not banter or bad blood or calling anyone or whatever the hell someone may interpret. This is just facts. Honestly, for all I know, he could have changed, of course. He could be playing now completely different for all I know. But I don't, because I don't watch other people's streams, because I don't have the time. It's simple as that. So before anyone jumps to any ridiculous conclusions again, let's just put this thing away. Nobody stream sniped anyone. And if you saw that game, I ended up on a completely different side from him, and I only got to shoot at him once when he was the last guy left alive. And my volley was the killing blow, but that makes no difference. So all you people who feed off the drama and like to set things on fire so you could watch them burn, dudes, find some other channels to do that on, because this is definitely the wrong one. So I hope we can put that to sleep. And if you are curious about my stats, then well, just look, because you probably already know more about my stats than I do, because I've recorded this and I wasn't even looking. I legit shocked myself a couple of days ago when we were talking about survivability, and I thought, shit, let's go in and take a look. Why not? Let's just go in and take a look. And then I went and I realized it's almost 50%, which is extremely high for survivability. And second, for someone who plays as crazy as I do, that sounds impossible. I just couldn't believe it. So yeah, there's that. Second of all, one of the kind of interesting things that's been developing recently is I posted a video in a lower tier with a tier 5, the Pyotr Veliki, the Russian tier 5 battleship, you know, one of the test ones, and I made a video about it, most OP ship in the game. Now, I'm not sure do I have an exactly the same title in the video on my YouTube channel already, but I do know that I do have something very similar, and I know exactly which ship it was. It was the Giulio Cesare. So when I made this video, the timing must have been just perfect, because as you may know, Giulio is now being under, let's so call it, investigation from Wargaming. They're looking into shifting it into tier 6 with basically no changes, because it's OP for tier 5. Which makes it a kind of bizarre that exactly in this same time we get a Russian tier 5 battleship that's as good as it is. Now, there is already a Russian tier 5 battleship in the game. It's October Revolution. And it is very strong. It's very hard to kill. It's got a lot of guns. And, well, from the reports of other people, those guns do hurt a lot. Not from my experience. They're extremely slow shells and take some adjusting. And I don't like the ship. Okay, let's just put it that way. I don't like it at all. Not my kind of thing. The tier 5 that's in the game right now for the test purposes, the Pyotr Veliki, that thing I could relate to, because that thing has speed, okay armor, and powerful guns. And he can tank. I mean, not huge, but it can. Of course, if you give broadside, you might as well expect yourself to be nuked out of the sea as much as you will, or as much as you saw me nuking other people out. But it does get really good gun angles. So it's got speed, which majority of the battleships in that tier don't have. It's got really good angles of guns, which majority of the battleships in the game do not have. It's got really fast turret traverse, which majority, if not all, of the battleships in the game do not have. It's got really powerful guns. The accuracy is okay. The AA is good. The armor is okay. What is bad about this thing? Broadside. That's it. It's got a bad broadside. Because I got smacked for over 20,000 HP over the island by a freaking Texas. And I'm pretty sure I posted one of those games, so you got to see it. Why I'm telling you this? I consider that ship to be too good and too fun. And I have nothing against the ship itself. Like, if you would come and tell me, would you want this in the game? Would you enjoy playing it? Hell yes, I would. And everyone else would probably. But is it really balanced and not OP? In comparison to other ships, I think it's slightly OP. Because there's just nothing in the game that's got so many good traits about it. That's the whole thing. Most of these other things just don't get so many good traits. But anyway, enough about a tier 5. The whole thing is why I wanted to talk about this is there was a couple of individuals in the chat. I know this is a great minority and all, and don't want to give too much focus on it, but it was pretty funny when somebody said, you know, you're in a Unicum division, your thoughts or your opinion doesn't count or doesn't matter. What does that even mean? Just like, you're good at the game, so your opinion doesn't count? That's got to be the most absurd game I've ever heard. The only reference that I could try to make would be, oh, you are in a division with so many good players, everything, you are basically shaping your game. Everything is going down so good that you can't really give an object opinion, a proper opinion, a non-biased opinion about the ship. Well, let me just ask you one question. Do you think it's easier to get a great game when it comes to damage and kills wise and experience wise when you're playing alone or when you're playing in a division? If you think it's easier to have awesome stats, I'm not talking about a win rate here, I'm talking about damage and all the other stuff. If you think it's easier to get really good stats besides the win rate in a Unicum division, then I'm pretty sure you never played in a Unicum division, and you're probably not a Unicum yourself. If you're playing with good people, you are basically constantly competing amongst each other, even indirectly, for the damage and the kills. It's very rare when all three of you are going to, at the end of the game, say, this was an amazing game. That means that the 9 other teammates did absolutely nothing. They were just cannon fodder, and they were dying as fast as you were, you know, dealing with the enemy team. And those kind of games do happen, and they're spectacular to watch, and awesome and all of that, but they are a minority. Like, you can, because all three of you are really good players, you can get good win rate. Because it's not just one player who has very good stats and, you know, has a good influence on the match. There's like 2 or 3 of you, so you are increasing your chances of getting a win. Sure, but in the same time you're competing for the damage. All 3 of you, if you want to have, if you do care about the stats, if you do want to stay a Unicum or Super Unicum, whatever, so you could be in a Unicum or Super Unicum division, you, all 3 of you, have to do enormous amount of damage. So you have to split the enemy in 3 sections. I will take care of these 4, you will take care of these 4, and you will take care of these 4. Preferably, all 3 of us will do some damage to all 12 of them. And live, and get the kills, and the scouting, and the planes, and the caps, and the decaps. It's like a 3-man team against a full enemy team. And you just have pawns which are, in the meantime, dying. Now, yeah, I'm not saying this is not possible. This is possible. But, seriously, it's not how you think it is. So, just by being good, or in a, you know, good division, and doing good, I think you got it the wrong way around. I'm just saying. We are getting close to an end of the episode, so I'm just gonna tell you. I will leave you the links for 2 things down below. Jingle's video about Postscriptum. He played with Digby. I played with Digby a day after. We will be probably playing again this weekend. Postscriptum is a World War II game. You can do platoons, but this is mostly going to be about armor sections. Very much looking forward to that. And the second thing is going to be Berlin party tickets by Wargaming. I will leave you the link down below. You can read everything, you can apply, and you can earn yourself a trip there. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I hope you enjoyed. It's a bit shorter one. I'm afraid I just do not have the time anymore. And I will see you later on the stream. Have a good rest of the day.